got to the interval at just the right time at the end of the Kevin Keegan era at Newcastle, and you said that the departure did set us back, and there's no question about that. We've come on to a very different time, and we've come on to three hugely big-name managers, but very, very different managers. Kenny Dalglish, Wood Hullaboo, and we've obviously big-name managers at different times. Your feelings, in fairness, I mean, once I saw KK go, and I thought, oh dear, it's not going to be the same. Dalglish took over the second half. Dalglish's CV with Newcastle is very good because he took over the second half of the season. He finished runners-up, and then he got to the cup final. I know he made you skip it.
Yeah.
He made you skip it. So did you feel, with hindsight, the Kenny Dalglish short period was okay or even good? And then we'll get on to Wood and depress us all because that was qualified shit. Go on.
Kenny, I think when Kenny came in, I think it was the choice of the ball. Because we'd signed Alan, obviously Kevin had left. I think they needed somebody that Alan got along with.
And Dalglish won the title with him.
Yeah, and he won the title with him, so he was a good friend. So I thought at the time, I thought, wow, that's his record, with Blackburn and Liverpool, and that was very good. So I thought it was a really good signing. And as you say, he said to me when I was captain when he arrived, he said, "Do you want to still be captain?" And I said, "Yes, I do, yeah." And we already had Alan was England captain, so it was like quite a thing to keep him captain. So yeah, I mean, I got on very well with him. I think later on, the problem is he bought some shit players. I was being brutally honest.
We did, didn't we?
We did, yeah. As I said before, you didn't really need to replace our players. You got rid of Ginola, you got rid of Bears, Pistoni into the Bears, and we brought Stefan Givash. Anyone remember him?
Stefan Givash.
World Cup winner Stefan Givash. Bloody hell, it was the worst World Cup winner I've ever seen. And to really get by, good player, an absolute nutcase. Nobby Solano, who I had lunch with today, he's good. He's learned the language and stuff. Still don't understand a word he says, but he's good company. But yeah, no, I just think it was, I think Alan got injured. He was unlucky because Alan got injured. He sold Les, Alan got injured. We brought John Dale Thomas, and through pre-season, he was unbelievable. I thought, wow, he's some player. And then I think the first game against Sheffield Wednesday, he went through one-on-one and missed.
Yeah.
And he never recovered. Went on to play for AC Milan and playing World Cups, and he never recovered.
What do you think, Rob, that we played him technically in his wrong position? We tried to play him up front because we lost out-and-out centre forward, did you see? When really he played in the hole. I mean, he had a hell of a career of toes, and he was a flop.
Yeah, as I say, I don't think Kenny maybe thought that Alan and Les could play together, but it was proven the season before that. So I don't know if he had a problem with Les, and I think maybe play Alan and then John Dale Thomas and off him, but when Alan got injured at Everton, he was out for 9-10 months, which was
that boomeranged on us, not just because of Alan, but because we're in the throes of selling Les to Spurs.
Yeah, right at the same time as well. Again, as soon as Alan done it, I rang him and Les. You can't go.
You can't go.
Yeah, I said, you can't go. And it's too late. I've signed. So it was a huge blow for us. To have two great centre forwards and then all of a sudden have none was a massive blow.
I mean, you have had a very strong bond with Alan. You've been mates for donkey's years and still are. Was that a quick...
He still don't let me stay at his house though.
Why? Do you mix some of your stuff or something?
I don't know, sheer towels. I can never stay there anymore.
Did that happen quickly? Was it off the field as much as on the field? How did it seem to develop very quickly, the friendship and the closeness with Sheila?
Yeah, it wasn't at first. When we both played for England, we used to grunt each other in the corridors. I think he was a bit pissed off that I was a Cockney playing for his team, and I was pissed off with this Geordie who was arrogant. So we didn't really go on at all. When he arrived, I was captain, so you have to new players come in, you have to talk to them, didn't you? So, and our wives got on, still do, and sort of like, so we just got on. We found out we had the same sense of humour. He is quite funny, really. It's not like he's on a telly. He's actually, he's got a little bit of a sense of humour, which is, the story is we used to play tricks on each other, sort of like all the time, on the other lads. And I remember playing this trick on him. He wasn't happy. Remember Des Hamilton? Remember Des Hamilton?
Unfortunately,
yeah. What was that guy? What a lovely guy, really nice guy. And it was on his first day, so he arrived to have his medical. I was injured, so I was in the treatment room. And Alan came in, and when Alan buys like a new top, he was like an Armani top. It was all white, had blue and white stripes down it. It looked like an England top, basically. But he was looking at the new top lads, Armani and all that sort of shit. So so I remember him taking his gear off, going out and training. I'm in there, and I picked this top up. I've gone to Des Hamilton. Des, can you sign this England top for us? So Des been the nicest man in the world. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sign this England top. I stuck it back on the peg. Now I'm waiting for Alan to come in and train now. Des is still doing his medical. So he's unaware of all this going on. Then. Or Alan's come in, he's had his shower, telling us how many goals he scored in training. And then he's come back, he's routine. Guys, who the fucking hell did this? I said, well, it says Des Hamilton there. So Alan's only recourse, honestly, Alan, the only thing he used to do to get you back, what he used to do, he used to get scissors, he used to cut your jeans all the way up, he'd cut your trainers, he'd cut your top. And that's what he used to do. And I just remember Des Hamilton on his first day walking out of training ground looking like Robinson Crusoe. I felt so sorry for him. So we found out we had the same sort of like sense of humour, and kids of the same age, so we went on holidays together, so we always got on really well together.
And I mean, that can reflect on the field, Rob. If two players that are going to play on the side that are valuable to the side gel off the ball, that can carry on the field, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think we had a great team spirit. All the lads, all through the Keegan days and the Dalglish days, and Bobby Rob, we all got on great. You know what I mean? We had such a good team spirit. And that's probably down to a lot of the young Geordies, like, as soon as you used to get here when I was here, the Geordies would come and get you out of the hotel, take you out, show you the quayside, show you the big market, and it was all go from there sort of thing. So it was a lot to do with them, really. We had a fantastic team spirit.
I mean, we made two talking about we've never won a domestic trophy, and we're still talking about it now, for goodness sake, since 1955. Last time Newcastle won a domestic trophy, everybody in that team's bloody dead. I mean, for Newcastle, the size of Newcastle, that's sensational that we haven't won a domestic trophy since. We've gone close, 98, 99, we were in 2 cup finals, we'll talk about the semi-final, eventually under 3 different managers. We were unlucky to a certain extent. We got Arsenal, who was looking for the double, and we got Man United looking for the treble. I mean, you couldn't have anything tougher than that. Your recollection will come to Woodhull and spoil the evening in one
Yeah,
we've got to spoil the bloody evening. We'll have to. We can't have too much wonderful stuff where Geordies were used to persecution. But the cup final of '98, your memories of it, your feeling about it?
But to captain, a club the size of Newcastle, Wembley, it's
special.
Yeah, it's what you dream about when you're a kid playing in the playground. You want to play at Wembley. You want to captain. And the Arsenal captain was Tony Adams, who was, I grew up with him.
Legend.
So, yeah, and I grew up in the same area. He's the same age as me. So he was captain on the other side. So that was really good. But I do remember when I first played for England. Tony Adams used to live next door to my mum and dad. He was England captain. This is my first introduction to England, by the way. I got picked for England. We play a game, and then we meet on the Sunday. They send a limousine, pick you up, take you to Burnham Beaches, which is about an hour from my house. So Tone rings me up. We'll meet your mum's house. So we get one car between us. Limousine come pick us up. We'll go to Burnham Beaches. I said, yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So I got to his house next door to his mum's. The limousine's there. I'm I'm waiting for him to come out of his house. He comes out of his house, he's got a crate of 24 skull lagers. A little skull lagers, with a crate of 24. And I thought, what the fuck's he got them for? He went, oh, it's a 24-pound journey, this. I think it's an hour. It's an hour. So honestly, he must have down 20 of these cans. This is the England captain. He must have down 20 of these skull. I drank 4 to be sociable. I think, God,
if you were pissed,
I know. And I think, blimey, the first trip, what happens with the lads? See Terry Venables and that. And as you go into Burnham Beaches, there's the receptions here, and on the left-hand side is the bar. He's all right. He said, chuck your bag down there. So I chuck your bag down with his. Walked into we're going to go in the bar now. In the bar. Went in the bar. I thought, what was Terry Venables? Walked in the bar. Terry Venables at the bar. Gaz is at the bar. Cheers. I think that was my first introduction to football at that time. The drinking culture was amazing.
But it was in those days.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And they could still go out, Tony Adam could still go out.
Superb.
Yeah,
He was superb. He was fat once he was not sober. When he was sober,
he was still do it those days.
Yes, you did. No, but you did in those days, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did, but he did.
A lot of players did.
Yeah, a lot of players could do it, yeah.
A lot of players did. We had Dalglish left, we got Woodhull. I often say that we have had some sensational managers when you think of Ozzy Ordelis and you think of Dalglish and you think of Woodhull. Unfortunately, they were wonderful players and crap managers. We got them the wrong way round. We didn't get them as players, we got them as managers, and they weren't as good managers. Woodhull was unbelievable for us because he put us. If you think we went back 15 years with KK going, we must have gone back another 5 or 10 with Woodhull.
No, at least, yeah. It was an awful time for me, awful time for the football club. I think probably the only time that I cheered when Kevin Phillips scored against us. Yes. I was sitting at home, I just score, we're getting rid of this, you know what I mean? So, and I remember the game as well. I used to travel with Alan to the, and obviously everyone remembers the game. We got beat 2-1, but it was 1-1 when Alan and Duncan Ferguson came on. And I'm travelling with Al, and he went on the telly and said, why did you leave Alan? And he went, well, we weren't losing when they came on. And Alan was raging, by the way, in the car. He said, as soon as I get in, I'm fucking going to see him. And you go to Chesley Street, and straight in front of you is the manager's office, basically. So got out, slammed the door, he's running in, sort of thing. And as we've got to the gate, we saw the door, and the door was hanging off his hinges. Duncan Ferguson had been in first. I said to Al, I don't think you've got to see him, to be fair. And about 3 hours later, he was sacked. So it was,
I remember being at that game in the press box, and when the team sheet comes out an hour before the kick-off, and I looked at the team sheet, and there was no Ferguson, and there was no Shearer, etc. There was no few of the players were missing. And young Robinson was playing centre forward.
Well, I did a do with Peter Reid about 3-4 months ago, and Kevin Phillips. And he said, I didn't even have to do a team talk. He said, I looked at the team sheet from Newcastle, and I said, are they taking the piss here? He said, Shearer's on the bench, Ferguson on the bench, I wasn't playing. There was like 4 or 5 youngsters playing. I think James McLean was playing steadily. Paul Robinson was playing. Al. And Peter Reid said, are they taking the piss? And he said, just look at that team sheet. So that's. He said, He said, I didn't have to say a word. It was just one of those things you think, was he trying to? And that's what Reid said. So was he trying to get sacked? Sort of
it was like a resignation letter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a resignation letter.
It was. But I mean, recapping those days with Hull, it destroyed me at the time because I used to love Woodhull as a player, watching him on the telly playing for AC Milan, and I used to what a player this guy is, and used to love him. Then he come to manage my club in Wimbledon, and I couldn't put the two people together. But I mean, just to recap, he had it in for Shearer, there's absolutely no question about that. You didn't even end up with a shirt number, under, which is phenomenal. Pierce, Bonds, senior players just got the ball.
Yeah, it was amazing. I've only got one story that I enjoy about Ruud Gullit. Forgive me if I swear a bit, but I usually do when Ruud Gullit's name gets mentioned. Especially because he's Alan's best mate now, they play golf and shit together, so I always text him when he's with Ruud Gullit. And the story is, we played like this, so as you say, he'd bought a load of foreign players, not good foreign players. You know, Marcelino came in,
Yes.
he was out for 10 weeks with a broken finger. Domi, Goma, all these sort of like players came in, and we played like a British team on a Thursday. We played British team with the foreigners. Rue was playing for the foreigners, and there was on the Brits was me, Speedo, Dunn, Alan, Stuart Pearce, John Barnes, and I had Domi, Paul. I can't even name a few. Honestly, it was raining. It was a horrible day. And would you believe at half time we're getting beat 2-0? And so Ruud Gullit is now like he's loving it. He's loving it.
Also, yeah.
He's on the team of the foreign
Yes,
he's jumping around seeing, don't win anything with the British players, so all the foreign players. I remember Stuart Pearce walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, he's pulling his shorts up, and his big fuck off thighs are like coming towards me. And he said to me, Rob, he said, next time you get the ball, he said, stick it between me and that big twat. Exact words from my mouth. I'm not going to argue with Pearce. I can give it 50-50 easily. So honestly, I got the ball about 10 seconds the second half, and I just played it just between Stuart Pearce, who's playing left back, Ruud Gullit, who's in front of him. I played just perfectly. Pearcey has gone and smashed him. He smashed him. Ruud Gullit, who was 6'2", he's gone flying over. It's raining, he's landed, he's dreadlocked. Everybody's pissed himself. And the thing is, he jumped up, he went, who the fucking hell did that? He went, Pearcey, good challenge.
You would do, wouldn't you? You would.
I say he was gone, so...
I remember, because Bobby was a dear friend of mine, I'd gone out and stayed with him when he was manager of Porto for 4 days. You know, Geordie talks to him, Geordie in a foreign land sort of business. And then when he come to Newcastle, I went up and saw him in the Gosford Park Hotel. As a friend, really, rather than doing the newspaper article. And he said to me, Gibbo, one of my first jobs is I've got to get Alan Shearer on side, and I've got to get the boys that weren't on side and the would other. Yourself, obviously, was one of them. And I've got to get them on side because that's the only chance we've got. And I'm going to sit with Alan that night. I think we were playing at Chelsea. We were playing at Chelsea.
Individually, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, I've got to talk to these guys, and Alan playing one of them side on instead of back to goal, etc. And he had that talk. We lost narrowly in Chelsea. We come home, we played everywhere. We won 8 or something.
8-0, yeah.
Shearer scored 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I mean, it completely changed. But there was a need for a breath of fresh air.
That's exactly what he was. He was a breath of fresh air. I mean, he was from Ruud to him was chalk and cheese. You know what I mean? It was a bit like playing for your granddad when he came in. He still had his old boots from 1960 he used to wear, and his old tracksuit. Everyone seen Pez, he was like that sort of thing. You're doing all these old things about bouncing when you're the fitness coach was. In those days, there was no bouncing, sort of you have to stretch. No, bounce. The fitness coach went, what's he doing? So it was like playing for your granddad, but you couldn't get annoyed with him. I couldn't get annoyed with him, whatever he did. He had 5 of us by myself. There was Speedo, Alan, Jay Gibbon, Flora Barton, and he called us his blue chip brigade.
Yeah.
Any decision he made, you know, we had a few little rotters on our team of good players, great players, Bellas and Kieran Dyer. It was up to us to keep them all in order, sort of thing, and make sure they didn't get too out of hand with Bobby. Sort of
that was, if I again looking from outside of that team, there was the core of senior players, good lads, if you like, that Bobby was going to rely on. And then there was young lads who were terrific, but you almost needed a chain of whip.
Yeah, they could be scallywags. Yeah, I think you'd probably call it bullying now, but we used to. We used to keep them under. We used to put their heads in the mud a few times, sort of thing. Took it well, but they'd probably call it bullying now. We're getting probably get sacked. But
yeah, but it worked in those days.
yeah, and it worked really well. It was seniority. We sort of like kept them, and they were great players, but they were young and they'd done different things. But you know, Bobby was, as I said, I could never get annoyed with him. And I've got a story I always tell about Bob, and it's 100% true. It was right towards the end of my career. It's how I left Newcastle in the end. I went to see him, and we're still playing. I think we're fourth in the league. I'm still playing 36, still playing well. And I said, Gaffer, can I have a new contract? I don't want any more money. I just want another year, for another year. He went, oh, he said, well, why don't I do the contracts? He said, Freddie Shepherd does all the contracts. Okay, it's been here 10 years, so I thought like, yes, no, the manager does a contract. So I thought, okay, so I went to the ground, knocked on Freddie's door. I said, Chairman, about a new contract. He went, I don't do the contracts, Rob. Bobby does it all. So I said, yeah, I thought that was the case. So I went back the next day, knocked on Bobby. I said, Gaffer, I said, went to see the chairman, and they said, he said, you do all the contracts. He went, yeah, I do all the contracts, son, I do them all. And I said, well, I like a new contract. He went, can't give you a new contract, son, your legs are gone. And I knew West Ham, so like Glenn Roeder was at West Ham, I knew he wanted me. I said, look, okay, I said, will you let me go? And he went, he said, I can't let you go, son, you're my best player. That's genuinely what he said to me. I walked out, and again I was in Alan's car, and what did he say? I said, he said my legs are gone, but I'm his best player. He just couldn't get annoyed with me. He was just a great guy.
He was. I mean, we've talked about Newcastle's near misses, and so many of them of modern times come during your time when we had a great side with the Entertainers that almost won their first title since 1927. We had the Bobby Robson years, where we were up there for the Champions League, and we had the two cup finals in between. But I think our best chance of winning the cup, ironically, was under Bobby, when our best performance, in my opinion, of our time at Wembley in the 90s, was when we played Chelsea in the semi-finals. Was our best Wembley performance. Would you agree with that, Bob?
Yeah, without doubt. I don't think you can even argue with it. We didn't play well against, admittedly we're playing against two great teams. Yeah. The Arsenal team, the double team, and Man United's treble team, but we didn't play well. Didn't do ourselves justice, but against Chelsea, I thought we were the better team. I thought we were good. I thought whoever won that game, we sort of like pretty knew that you'd have a great chance of winning the FA Cup, because that was was Middlesbrough v Villa, I think. You know what I mean? So and Chelsea knew. You know, speaking to a few of the Chelsea players, they knew that whoever won the game was going to have a great chance. Win the cup. So yeah, it was a.
I mean, when you equalised, I honestly believe in my heart, and did you on the pitch, that we were going to go on and win.
Yeah, without doubt. Once I got the goal, we had about a 10-minute spell where actually we could have scored a couple. Kieran had a chance, and then we let another goal in at the other end and find ourselves getting beat again. So it's again, most of the great games I've played in the moment is we talked about the Liverpool game we lost. So I don't fucking watch that. They talk about my header at the semi-finals we lost, I don't watch that. So,
well, you've got to concentrate on Antwerp.
Great game, yeah, exactly.
Manchester United.
Antwerp's really grainy though. It's like a video, so it's.
In Antwerp, Manchester United up here.
Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, that was a brilliant performance by us, because they beat us heavily in the Charity Shield.
They did. They did.
And everyone thought they were the better team again, but again.
That massacred them, didn't they?
Yeah, but you know what? We played better the year before when we got beat 1-0.
Yes.
Everyone says we got 5 against them. We could have got 5 the year before. So and even then, they know. Cantona came off the pitch and went to Key and said you've got a fucking good team. Yes, obviously he said it in French, but my French is not being a cockney.
And then when we won 5, he said you've definitely got a fucking good team. But Gus Poirier was the one that done this. I mean, what a bastard. He went and managed Sunderland after that. I mean, can you imagine? But it wasn't he? He got the 2 goals for Chelsea.
He got both, yeah. He always seemed to score against us, yeah. It's a shame, really. It's still a great honour to be, probably the only. I wish it wasn't, because I went to see the Carabao Cup. I wanted somebody else to score. Genuinely wanted someone else to score, but to be the only Newcastle, I think, Alan Gowling, I think, to score. And everybody comes out to be.
Since Gowling to score.
Yeah, everybody comes out to where they were, or where they started at Wembley when I scored, where they finished at Wembley, and the injuries they got for all the crowd. And whenever I speak to Alan and we ring up, he's taking the piss about how many goals he got, I always just say, I've scored at Wembley for your hometown club. And, you haven't. So regardless of how many goals you've got for England, I don't care.
Absolutely. Can we get to England, because that was a very, very important part of your career. 1994 to 98, 21 appearances, a couple of goals, scored on your debut against Romania, World Cup squad 1998 under Glenn Hoddle. Amazingly, for me, didn't get in the Euro squad in 96 with Venables, when I would have thought you were possibly in the better form of your life then.
Yeah, without doubt, yeah. 96 I really should have gone, really. I think.
Without a shadow.
Yeah, 98 I was getting a bit old, I was in my 30s, but 96 was when I was sort of like playing as well as possible. So I still remember Terry Venables when he left me out. And he I met him many times afterwards. He didn't mean what he said, but he said, I'm not going to take it to the Euros. He went, oh, you haven't had a good year, have you? We just lost a 12-point lead as well. And I went, oh yeah. I said, fucking cheers, Gaffer. Yeah, great. then I had a 13-hour flight back from, because I was in Hong Kong when Gazza did the Danish chair as well. So I had 13 hours of Gazza on a plane as well. So it was one of the best days of my life, I must admit.
But I mean, your England career, you had a terrific time with England. And I mean, I was so proud to cover the England matches in those times, because we always had a load of players in the England squad. Newcastle United.
I think one time we had 4 or 5.
We did.
Peter was in, Les, Steve Howie. We had Les was on the. He got a couple of. He didn't get a cap, which I always tell him. He might have an OBE, but he's only got a cap. So. But yeah, we had quite a few. Scott Sirs, I think, was on the. He was on the periphery at the time as well. He was playing that well. We had a team full of like.
Venables
got a cap. So we had a team of like some really good English players. So we always had loads of them.
When you look back at the England career, what's your thoughts? Terrific to have played 21 internationals, could have easily played more. Your opinion of the managers you had?
Well, I didn't start. I joined Newcastle 26, so I didn't make the England debut until I was 28.
Yeah, which is late.
Which is very late. Again, it's one of those things I dreamt of when I was a kid. I wanted to play at Wembley. I wanted to play for England. I wanted to score, and I was lucky enough to do it all on the same night for my debut. So, so anybody who gets to play for their country, it's a great honour. But the only regret I have is I think I should have done the Euros. That's when I was
in '96.
Yeah, that's when I was at my peak.
Yeah.
I think when I speak to Kevin, he says the same thing. It's just one of those things. It's just one person's opinion.
I remember going to the '96 games at Wembley with the song and all that. Yeah. It was a special atmosphere. You must have been sitting with greater teeth saying,
well, I couldn't get away from it. That was the problem.
Yes.
I couldn't get away. I think when I went to America, it was still on in America. It's like I tried to get away as far as I could.
Did you go over to America?
Yeah, I tried to get away, but it's everywhere.
Yes.
There was loads of British people as well watching it in the bars. But yeah, so they've done so well as well. I've just been nice to be part of that.
I mean, Gaza, we remember him from up here. You had him with England. You had him with the dentist chair. You had him with Glenn Hoddle when he done his nuts in when he wasn't in the squad. Your memories of Gascoigne?
It was just brilliant player. Again, people ask me, he's up there with Peter Beer as the best player I've ever played with. When you're away with England though for 5, 6, 7, 8 days, he's a pain in the arse. In a nice way, doesn't he? He's like having a child. So when you're like a 7 or 8 year old, and he's forever doing stuff. And when we was away with this before we went away in '98, we went away to play the Tournoi. And we had these little chalets, so everyone had a little villa. And he'd be knocking on your villa at like 3 in the morning while I played tennis and stuff. He's like having a child with you, but he was great fun to be around. Like brilliant fun. I mean, again, stupid things he used to do. I mean, again, I think it was my second trip to with England, and you meet on the Sunday. We're not playing again until following. You have a lot of free time. And we were staying again at Burnham Beaches, which is near a place called Marlow, quite a posh place. But what we're going to do, again, it's my second trip. So we're all in England tracksuits. And there was about 7 or 8 of us. So there was Inti, Teddy Sheringham, Stephen Manningham, Gaz and myself. We'll go to the pictures. Can't remember what was on. We'll go to the pictures. So we got the picture house in Marlow. The manager just came there, said, great lads, no problem, sit right at the back. Packed, absolutely packed. So he said, just sit right at the back, I'll get you in, it's all dark, I'll get you in the back, no problem. So Gaz, being Gaz, went and got one of those, those big, massive buckets of popcorn. So he's sitting at the back, there's 7 of us all in England tracksuits, and he's sitting at the back, he's like, he's munching all his popcorn like that, he's making a bit of noise now, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on here? A second later, he's just got the whole bucket and went, bang! It went everywhere. Over the whole of these people. Honestly, the manager's coming right out. That's it. You can't chuck that all in England tracksuits like. If there had been phones around now, we'd have been in serious trouble. Just stupid things like that he would do, you know what I mean? Make you laugh at the time, think, wow, Gazza, seriously. And you go, why'd you do that? Well, I'm bored.
Do you feel, that if he hadn't got that injury that he got at Spurs, he could have gone on to arguably be the best player in the world, or what certainly one of them?
I think at a certain time, just before that happened, I think he was the best player in the world. I think he was that good. Yeah, I think the injury killed him really. Because the trouble with Gazza, as long as he's playing football, as long as he's on the football pitch, as long as he's training, he's brilliant. Once you give him spare time, when you're injured, you've got a lot of spare time. And then he does silly things, like it's thing, and people egg him on, do this, Gaz. Okay, it's all right, sorry. But yeah, he was. Again, at the time, I think he was the best player in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to dwell on it because my memories of Gazza, when you personally, is that Jordan did it here, is so many of us did, Steve and yourself. There's so many wonderful, warm memories. They're the ones I want to keep. But life's been tough for them since.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, today, someone asked me the other day, we've got Gaz's number. I've probably got 6 numbers for him. None of them get through to him. So yeah, he lives down in Bournemouth now, I think, of all places to live. So yeah, I think he's Tommy Gazza has good times and bad times. I remember one time we used to take him, we all retired, and we used to do these golf days. And then there was one, we had a big golf day for us, it was Asda, proper big golf day. So you play golf all day, do a big do in the evening. And he wasn't drinking, he'd stopped drinking. Gazza's brilliant, I think. And these golf days, you all tee off at certain times. So if you tee off early, you finish early, and you're waiting for all the lads to come in. He teed off early, he don't really play golf. And he was drinking pints of Red Bull. For every pint of beer we had, he had a pint of Red Bull, and he does not need Red Bull. The do in the evening, he was hyper, absolutely hyper. I think he got banned from that as well. So that was Asda. So, but yeah, give him time. I think he just gets bored.
I mean, when he went to the World Cup in Italia '90 with Bobby, I mean, he'd come back from that and he actually transcended football, if that was possible. He's standing in this country at that time. He was a superstar, as big as any of the showbiz stars or anyone else, wasn't he? That's hard to handle, I guess.
Yeah, I just think he's just a child, really. And he's like,
he totally
Alan's. Would you believe Alan's quite like he's a typical Geordie. He likes to laugh, he likes to joke. He does it. He knows when to do it. He knows when there's no one around him. He knows when to do. I've seen him do stupid things, ridiculous things, but no one's around, but no one sees it. Gazza will just he'll do it if there's 1,000 cameras in front of him. He'll do this. That's the difference. Really.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be, I don't think there is now, a big myth around I'm sure the most boring guy in all this.
Oh, he is most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, there was a famous phrase, and he did offer it because he said the most exciting thing he did was creosote the fence over a weekend. It possibly was the most exciting.
No, that's when he won the league with Blackburn.
Yes, yeah.
And someone asked him, what do you do like the next day? He said, creosote the fence.
Yeah, yeah.
Which he probably did.
You probably did.
Or I would have said he paid somebody to creosote the fence.
But the truth of the matter, and I mean, I knew Jack Hicks, and I was well, who was the boy that took him away to Southampton and become his second dad, if you like, and looked after him. And I mean, at 17, he scored a hat-trick against Arsenal on his debut, and he's in the public eye, he's a centre forward. And he was coached by Jack, who he loved, not to say anything controversial, not to rock the boat, to come out, and he was terrific at it. He was like, in those days, he was like Eddie Howe, who can speak for 25 minutes and say fuck all. That's wonderful, and that's meant as a compliment. I mean, he will answer a question, and at the end of it, I turned around to the bloke sitting next to me and said, do we know anything now? We didn't know anything. And you don't. And it's an art. And Alan had that art, bless him. So therefore, it become amazing when he gets a job on television, because they think it's all about opinion on television. But I tell you what, and you know better than me, because you was the best mate. But I saw it through. He trusted me, and that's the sort of. If he trusts you, you're okay. If you let him down, you're dead. He trusted me, and we didn't let him down, and so it was terrific. And I tell you what, he was one of the funniest guys I knew. Away from the cameras,
Yeah,
away
you didn't
from
know
the
many
press.
guys, did you really?
You knew, and I said he was the funniest guy.
No, listen, I think he's done, he's not here, is he? So, yeah, I think he's done brilliant. Best centre forward ever played with.
Oh, yes.
And I think he's got a lot better on the telly now.
Oh, I think he's terrific.
And even co-coms, I think he's probably the best co-commentator around.
Yes.
I think he's even better at that than he is at punditry. I think he was really good in the Euros, so I would never tell him that, but I used to just text him saying, you were shy today, so he knows that's a compliment. So.
Can we get on here on mentioning Gaza's like a child, or his son, and Bajo wasn't. But you've had two sons who both become professional footballers, Elliot and Ollie, and followed in your footsteps. Ollie got an injury, I think, and has gone out on the coaching side.
Yeah, he's coaching at Ipswich under-18s. He had to retire a year ago. He's only 33, so he's coaching. Elliot's just having a whale of a time playing for Wrexham.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that is the gig to end all gigs.
It reminds me a lot of when I joined Newcastle on a smaller scale. You know, great people, they love their football club. All you see is shirts around everywhere. And they got the two owners of this great. Like, I've met them a couple of times. Just really, really good. They know fuck all about football.
But we've known plenty of that.
I mean, people take over clubs and they think they know loads of stuff about football, and they don't. So we just got the right people in the right jobs, and they buy good players. And it's great. The only trouble is, me and Alan used to, with our sons, we used to like on our phones, who's got the best phone book. And I used to have a great phone book. I had Robbie Williams with my phone book, Anton Deck. Unfortunately, my son's now got Deadpool, fucking Ant-Man, and Elf. So we can't compete anymore. Even Alan stops ringing him up. So
I mean, you played for the great Newcastle United side in England and all that. He plays for Wrexham, who are non-league and about. He goes to LA on Las Vegas on promotion. He goes to in America. He's got a better bloody lifestyle with Wrexham than you had with Newcastle.
I said that to him. I said, when we used to go on tours and stuff, and we went to America a couple of times, we probably got 20,000 people watching us.
Yeah.
They're getting 40,000 people. Yes. Goes to LA and they go to Vegas, been to Vegas twice, because Rob McElhenney takes them. And Brian sorts it out. They're sort of like, they get the best seats in Vegas. He's sending me pictures of bloody right up close next to David Guetta and loads of women around him. Right.
I'm going to say no about that. But
No, he's having a great time.
you'll be telling me the minute you played for the wrong club. You shouldn't have played for Newcastle United. You should have played for Wrexham.
Well, actually, I played there once. They come up to me and said, "Oh, you played here once." I couldn't remember, but it was actually Dixie McNeil's testimonial. Kevin took a team down there. That's the one and only time I've ever played at the racecourse ground. So,
but you wouldn't have missed it until now. You wouldn't miss it.
No, I wouldn't have a clue.
No. But it must be great for you to see Elliot enjoying his success and being part, in a small way, of what you were with the entertainers at Newcastle.
Yeah, it's great. They again, I prefer watching lower league football. It reminds me of like,
these days.
Yeah, because as I said before, I feel sorry for the kids coming through these days. They play this ticky-tacky football where they learn in the youth team. And a lot of it's got to do with, it might sound stupid, Pep. The way that Man City play football, I see teams in Division 2 trying to play like that. No, Pep plays like that because he's got the best players. You can't do that. But what happens is that the kids who, most of the kids, even at Newcastle, most of the kids won't make it. They won't make it. That's the realism of what's going to happen. But they're not ready to play women's football because when you're watching this football now, which is Division 1, Division 2, these are proper guys that their livelihoods are on it. There's no VAR, so there's still elbows flying around. And they're not ready for it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a shame because most of them will play lower league football.
Yeah. Well, I used to watch lower league football when Mike Ashley was here and we were in the champions for 2 seasons. But I didn't enjoy that at all, I can tell you. Not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my absolute pleasure to sit next to a Newcastle legend. Newcastle United is my club, it's your club. This guy is one of our legends. Put your hands together, say thanks for the memories to Rob Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Lee. Thanks, God. Thank you very much.